Okay, we're back. So I'm gonna have to focus here. I definitely want to get this done the next couple of days because, as mentioned, I'm gonna leave literally on what's today? Today's Thursday, so I'll be gone by Tuesday in the morning. So Monday is technically my last day for a month. So I definitely have to at least try to bang this out. I can probably release maybe two more videos in the next three days, but it depends on how this workflow is going to go. I think for the most part we should be good with this, but who knows? Things may change. Okay. Okay. All right. So earlier we were able to get something good, so we're just gonna start writing and we'll go from there. Okay. Give me a moment to think. I'm just looking at my outline. Just give me a moment. Scariest part of horror games isn't what you see; it's what you're left to imagine. Scariest part of horror games isn't what you see; it's what you're left to imagine. Hmm. Okay, we'll roll with it. Um, fuck. Door that's always all right. I'm gonna have to. Hmm. Give me 1 second. I have to actually think about where I'm going with this. Hmm. Okay. I think I got something. The door that's always just too far to reach. Okay. All right. So I think what we can do is start referencing the things that we're going to talk about. So the door that's always just a little too far to reach. A note with only half the message. Yep. All right. A note with only half the message. Silent Hill, I'm looking directly at you. World. Silent Hill again. All right, but empty. Okay, that's good. Intros are always the hardest things to go about. Hmm. being very cute about this. Of course, you don't remember the jump scares, but we're leading into what I'm going to be talking about. All right, let me actually read this. The scariest part of horror games isn't what you see; it's what you've left to. It's what you are left to imagine. A door that's always just too far to reach. A note with only half the message. A world that feels alive but empty. The deeper you go, the less you understand, and that's the real terror. We don't remember the jump scares. We remember the unseen, the broken pieces of a story. Okay, I like that. I might adjust it a little bit. Definitely will probably just. I might adjust that. Uh, yeah, I might have to adjust that. Why do we keep coming back? Why do we search for answers in the darkness, even when we know we might never find them? Oh man, that's. I don't know about that one. We'll keep it for now, but when we might change that. That's the good thing about a rough draft. It's never set in motion. It's because, as usual, I do take requests. They're on a priority basis, so if you request something, just let me know and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Right now, I technically don't have any requests. It's just me going off of my own personal list of things that I need to do. But we did do that Yumineka one the other day. That was a request. So and I like the way it came out. I have this to do. I have another Metroid one to do, another Tight Moon to do, and the lore files. It's because horror games just don't just. It's because horror games just. I might have to fix that one. That's gonna screw me up. It's because horror games don't just show us fear. It's because horror games don't just show us fear. I already know once I do this script that will screw me up. It's because horror games don't just show us fear. Yeah, I like that. All right. Why does that keep coming up? Okay. Holy shit, that is nostalgic. Holy fuck, nice. Okay, I'm gonna write some diabolical stuff. I'm probably gonna wash my mouth with soap later. All right, here we go. Ah, Resident Evil 4. Ugh, I don't like the way this is gonna sound. Um, it sounds good in my head, but once I read this, I'm probably gonna hate it. Okay, but in the words of Natalie Goldberg, we live in the world when we love it. On the surface, this quote feels comforting, even hopeful. But in the world of horror, love is often a ghost, a memory left behind in a world that no longer exists. Eh, okay. We'll just roll with it. What's re fade? Makes us search for meaning in the wreckage, even when we can't make sense of it. Okay, we'll roll with that. Looking at you, Fatal Frame. I am definitely looking at you when I'm writing this section. I read it, then I'm like, what the hell did I just read? It leaves things incomplete. Just so people know, if you ever watch this VOD, I think aloud. But when I'm just like not saying anything, I'm literally just thinking. I'm in deep in thought. But I guess people love these typing sessions. Again, these are just done for validation and verification, so people know like, hey, this guy's actually taking the time to actually write this from beginning to end. But yeah, just sit back, relax, and just if you watch this VOD, just enjoy it. You see my struggles. All right, back to this. Code Veronica music. I remember I really ruffled some feathers about my opinions of Code Veronica. Steve! Steve! Where do I want to go about this? I like it. I like it so far. I'm definitely gonna probably have to. Okay, so based on my outline, we had the psychology of horror as the first section. So how should I start this? Hmm. Okay, I think I have an idea of how I should start this, but we'll see. Okay, let's go about it this way. Start off with a question. What makes horror game? What makes horror game lore different from other game genres? Okay. Word, I hate you sometimes. I really do hate you. No, I'm gonna boycott you today. Okay. I need to give examples. A file with missing pages. Yeah, with missing pages. Um, it's funny. Wait a minute. I got one. A mural that doesn't make sense until it does. The Crow Room in Resident Evil Remake with Lisa's portrait. I was a dumbass back in the day. And then oh yeah, okay, I got one. Again, this ties into the Metroid Fusion video. Yes, it's not a scary game, but it has horror overtones to it. So an enemy, and where am I going with this? Yep, an enemy with no name, no name, but but eyes that seem to know yours. That's gonna ruffle a couple of feathers there. is a word. Our need to make sense of things. So as mentioned, I actually asked my buddy, who's a psychologist, uh, a couple of questions and pointers about this, and he gave me a good example. So our brains are wired to find patterns. Finish. Oh yeah, this is that part where you can examine Ada's gun and it's empty. Oh man, that hits you so hard. Puzzle to fill in the blanks. That is such. This is such a sad theme. Hmm. Um, it's probably just me, but we become obsessed not what not with not just with what happened, but with what could have happened. Yeah, that's that's definitely me. We can go into detail about this. What we weren't told. What was hidden. Um, what was missed. We become obsessed not just with what happened, but with what could have happened. We weren't told what was hidden, what was missed. That outbreak video is gonna make me make a lot of funny funny decisions. So yeah, I can't believe I'm using this word again. Ambiguity doesn't. And trust me, like I got my fighting game background. Getting hit by ambiguous cross ups, that is not fun. You just don't know which direction is gonna happen. S- The ambiguity doesn't push us away; it pulls us deeper. I'm at Ada. It's fear that the truth is. Hmm. It's worse. It's the fear that the truth is knowable. Don't see this as an insult. We just want smart enough, brave enough. Okay, I like that. What I need to do. This is what I need to do. The, here we go. If I don't put that, it's gonna confuse the crap out of people. Like we need title breaks. Yeah, it's gonna definitely confuse people if I don't do that. Music just died. Give me a moment. Okay. I'm not a fan of this version. I'm really not. I played too much Resident Evil 2. I really am not a fan of this one. Okay, where do I want to go about this next? Okay. Um, this I like the way the sentence sounds in my head right now, but it's gonna probably sound like shit the moment I write this. Not one of teeth growth. Researching. The psychology of horror lore. What makes horror lore game different from different What makes horror game lore different from other genres? It will hold more than it gives. A file with missing pages, a mural that doesn't make sense until it does, an enemy with no name but eyes that seem to know yours. This kind of storytelling taps into something primal, our need to make sense of things. Our brains are wired to find patterns, to finish puzzles, to fill in the blanks. And horror games leave us with a lot of blanks. But that's what makes them unforgettable. We become obsessed not just with what happened, but but with what could have happened. Hmm. Yeah, let me change that. But what with could have happened? What we weren't told, what was hidden, what was missed. The ambiguity doesn't push away, it pulls us deeper. It's the fear of the unknown, but worse. It's the fear that the truth is knowable and we just weren't smart enough, brave enough, or fast enough to find it. This is how horror lore becomes a trap. Not one with teeth and claws, but of thought. Oh, gross. Ew. Okay. This is how horror lore becomes a trap. Not one with teeth and claws, but of thought. You keep playing, keep researching, keep theorizing, not because the game asks you to, but because something inside of you won't let go. Uh, that's gonna be annoying to say. Hmm. Okay. Let's go with this. This is a good song. Okay. How should I word this without sounding cringe? Okay. Word, I hate you so much right now, Word. Okay. Horror games don't always tell their stories. Okay. They whisper them. Okay. They wait. Okay, this is where it gets tricky. Let me go grab some alcohol, because I'm probably gonna need it. Give me a sec. All right, I have my alcohol. I just don't know how the hell this is gonna go. So we'll break this down section by section. Okay. Environmental. Wait a minute. I know this. Resident Evil 6. That game. Okay, where do I want to go about this? Okay. Um, Times the world itself. Sometimes the world itself is the narrative. Let's see. Hmm. Am I feeling cringy right now? I am feeling cringy right now. Oh my goodness. The reason why I'm putting this because I played Human Echo the other day. Damn. Fuck. Give me a second. I gotta think. Hmm. Let me change this. I don't like the way this sounds. especially the cathedral corpses. I'm going way too dark with that one. Even dark by my standards. You just literally made a video about hospitals that probably will scar people forever. Seva, give me an egg. I miss Sheva. We didn't know what we had until it went away. Um, yep. Blood smeared. Ugh, yeah, blood smeared. Blood smeared's good. Blood smeared's very good. Blood smeared. Blood smeared walls. Blood smeared walls. Blood smeared walls. Whisper. Whisper. Stories of desperation. Desperation. I can give an example of that. It was cut off their limbs, I believe. Yeah, it's cut off their limbs. It tells you right in the middle, the beginning. Messages like cut, cut off their limbs. Scrawled. That's a word. Doubles. Yeah, it doubles as survival tips and desperate cries. Okay. I don't think we need to go into that. Yeah, let's because this is gonna set the pacing for everything else. Like, if I'm gonna go in balls deep, I might as well go in balls deep. I mean, I'm gonna have to go into the detail about everything else. I totally butchered that. No, utilitarian. The cold utilitarian design. Yep. Reflect, reflect a world. You're expendable. A world where workers are expendable. Expendable. The cold, the cold utilitarian design of the ship reflects a world where workers are expendable. Corporate horror. What does work? Maybe. I was gonna say foundation, but I think architecture would uh, the corporations as the architect. Yeah, I think we got this. Yeah, I think that's good. I was gonna put foundation, but we'll try something different. Where do we want to go now? Yeah, we were going balls deep, so I might as well continue this. Okay, I like that. All right, so let's go into remake now. Sometimes the world itself isn't the narrative. In Dead Space, the USG Ishimura isn't just a setting. Every corridor bleeds tension. Blood-smeared walls whisper stories of desperation. Messages like "cut off their limbs" scrawled in panic doubles as survival tips and desperate cries. The cold utilitarian design of the ship reflects a world where workers are expendable with corporate horror as architecture. The silence broken only by distant screams of or groaning metal. The silence broken by the silence broken only by distant screams or groaning metal becomes part of the story. You don't read what happened; you feel it around every corner. Okay, all right, well, we can roll with that. We can go with that. Okay, let's get a shift in tone. Give me a second. Let me just change the music. Hmm. So far, this is sounding really good. We've heard that plenty of times. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Whenever I'm cooking, I like to listen to music. It helps you actually. It helps me focus. Okay, remake. It interconnects a lot. I'm not gonna deny that. mirrors the twisted intentions of Umbrella itself. Yep, twisted intentions. I was gonna say ambitions, but I've used ambitions a good amount. Twisted here's the twisted intentions of every hallway hides a story. Every hallway hides a story. The horror isn't in what happened. No, the horror isn't in what's explained. What's explained. It's in what's implied. Itchy, itchy, tasty. A prime example right there. What's implied. Okay, now we can move on to the next portion. Found documents and audio. This is gonna be funny. Found documents and audio. Huh. Let me build up into it. The lore isn't dumped on you. You find it. Like evidence. Like evidence at a crime scene. Okay. Okay. Let's start with Fatal Frame. In Fatal Frame 5, the bad word, fragments. Not that. Fragments. Shit. All right, time to take a sip. I'm an adult. Do not drink unless you're an adult. Okay. In Fatal Frame 5, fragments of suicide notes and photographs build a legacy of grief. And let's keep the whole little mindset thing. Spiritual rot. Spiritual rots. Roy. Each file you find isn't just exposition. Each files you find isn't just exposition. They're killing. Well, they're udding themselves. So it's a last breath. It's a last breath. Each file you find isn't just exposition. It's a last breath. I don't like the way that sounds. I need a I need a follow up sentence to actually finish this one up. Each files you hold on. In Fatal Frame 5, fragments of suicide notes and photographs build a legacy of grief and spiritual rot. Each file you find isn't just exposition, it's a last breath. Personal scream before death. Okay. Make it plural. All right. Okay. I think that's good. We kind of went. Shit. I was. I went. I went really in depth with. I mean, I feel we don't need to go into that much detail about it. Like I went into a lot of detail about like Dead Space, but I might add more into this section. But let's move on to Outlast. Outlast. Uh, weaponizes. Good word to use. Weaponizes footage and psychiatric files. Wait. Oh, I got something. It's funny. I was playing Silent Hill 3 not too long ago, turning voyeurism into a flow that sense into. I'm gonna put no. I can put slow descent into madness, but no. Let's put something in between into and madness into institution. Yep, institution. Institutional madness. Just to add a little bit more fluff. You don't just read about horror. You will cover the paper trail that proves it existed. I like that. But I'm in the same position I was earlier with Fatal Frame. You don't read about horror. You just don't read about horror. You uncover the paper trail that proves it existed. The results. The results. Yeah. Implicit in the story. The game doesn't just scare you. It involves you. Okay. All right. Symbolism and metaphor next. This is probably gonna be a short video. Symbolism and metaphor. Um. Give me a second. I'm just looking at my notes. Because the thing is, if I don't give PT actual good shit, I'm gonna get hunted. I'm gonna get hunted down. They will find me. They're like, yeah, where's this weeb ass soldier at? Oh, he's on a mission. Fuck that. We're about to kill this dude. All right, I'll I'll try my best with this one. Minimalism. There's no combat. There's no combat. No cutscenes. Sort of. Just looping hallway shifts subtly. That shifts with each pass. But what makes it haunting is the symbolic weight behind every change. Game's lore is never correctly stated. Instead, it's hidden and garbled radio broadcasts, ghostly whispers, cryptic images, and violent subtext. That I don't like. Cursed fetus. A cycle of abuse that repeats endlessly. And you're forced to piece together a narrative, um, it's feeding a mythos that lives long after the demo. Hold. Okay, I have to read this. PT is a masterclass in psychological horror through minimalism. There's no combat, no cutscenes, just a looping hallway that shifts with each pass. But what makes it haunting is the symbolic weight behind every change. The game's lore is never directly stated. Instead, it's hidden in garbled radio broadcasts, ghostly whispers, cryptic images, and violent subtext. A dead wife, a cursed fetus, a cycle of abuse that repeats endlessly. You're forced to piece together a narrative from fragments, feeding a mythos that lives on long after the demo is pulled. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. Okay. Now cry of fear. And fear. Faceless. No. Give me a sec. I have to think about this. I was looking over my notes. Give me like 2 minutes. Cry of Fear is less about survival and more about suffering. It's a descent into a fractured psyche. Reality blurs with nightmare, and the deeper you go, the harder it is to tell to tell where you're fighting monsters or your own thoughts. Ooh, okay, what there? What there? Yeesh. Reality blurs with nightmare, and the deeper you go, the harder it is to tell whether you're fighting monsters or your own thoughts. Cry of Fear doesn't give answers easily, and that's exactly what keeps it haunting. The uncertainty, the guilt, the question of what really happened is what lingers long after the credits roll. Okay, I like it. All right, let's see. So we've discussed environmental storytelling, found documents in audio, symbolism and metaphor. Um, okay, we can head into the next section now. Um, Actually, I got to think about this. I like it. Um, reset. Stories. Isolation. Okay. I gotta write something down. Give me a second. Let's see. Ooh, hold on. Okay. Let me start over from scratch. Actually, wait, no. Okay, I have to actually think. So, othering you're quiet, sort of. Hmm. Okay. All right. I think that's fine right there. Let's just. That's because stories, encounter, currents, monsters. Oh, it's they're about us. Okay. About the fears we hide, the guilt we bury. Isn't that right, James? And the questions we never answer. Okay. Okay. All right. In Fatal Frame 5, Fatal Frame 5, suicide and and death rituals. I need to drink more often. I'm liking the way I'm writing when I'm drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm just kind of I'm nice right now. Hmm. Why it's heavy. It's depth, drenched in sorrow. Y- You just you don't witness death. You don't witness death. Feel the weight of it. Okay. You. Memory. Control. Okay, let's move on to Cry of Fear. Cry of Fear. Um, Record. Again, pointless plug. If you have requests for any of these type of lore videos, just let me know and I'll get to it. Requests take priority. Like right now, I'm just doing things off of my list, similar to how the Human Echo video was the other day. It was a request. I did it, and we got it done in a good amount of time. So if you have a request for a lore video, just let me know. Thing. Right. Why are you here? And before someone requests me to do Elden Ring, I'm like, that is Fotsy's thing. God no. No. Okay, that's good. All right, now it's this one. I gotta be very careful with this. I gotta do a. Oh hell yeah! Fuck yeah! Let's go. I'm gonna do a Star Wars. More powerful in depth than it could ever be in life. Hey! All right, Obi-Wan. Let's go. The thing does have it does have a dedicated following. All right. Then there's PT, the ghost of a canceled masterpiece that became more powerful in death than it ever could in life. I gotta be careful with the way with that though. Nah, I think it's fine. People, I'm pretty sure people will get where I'm going with that. He tried killing it, but just made it stronger. That's the shitty thing about it. It's like we can come up with like some weird fan theories, headcanons, but we'll just never know. Okay, Dead Space. In Dead Space, I'm about to do some shenanigans real quick. So, tree. Hmm. Um, humanize and destroy. You piece together what happened. It's broken recordings. They never stood a chance. They. Oh my goodness, the amount of shenanigans that this game shows you. Like we are so free. We're free to everything. Okay. Okay. Now remake Resident Evil remake seems straightforward. Um, zombies in a mansion. Zombies in a mansion. But dig deeper and find story weapons betrayal. That alcohol is actually hitting me really good right now. It's annoying because you may not see this, but when I start typing, I start getting drowsy because it's a lot of work that I'm doing on my end. You just get tired. And how oh of science. Hmm, how should I word this? And how science becomes horror when ethics, again, we're using ethics again, are erased. Are erased. The twisted layouts of Spencer Mansion mirrors mirrors the twisted twisted logic. Those who built it. I know I'm wording this in a very specific way. Obviously, George Trevor is the architect, but it's Spencer's machinations that kind of put everything in motion. Okay, I like that. Okay, I think I've gone into the detail of all of them. Okay, so what ties this all together? Um, what unites all of these? Um, of course, and ambiguity. Horror games give closure. Voices cut off. Symbols undeciphered. Sticks. Um. Yep. It crawls. I'm trying to put a little more emphasis on this. It crawls into your thoughts and your imagination fills the gaps. Fills in the gaps. Okay. Sometimes the horror isn't what? Hmm. It's what might have you were never allowed to see. I like that. Okay. Um. Hmm. I'm thinking. Give me a moment. feel like I can add more to this. Okay. Um, let's, I think I have something. Let's lead into the conclusion. The best horror or doesn't just scare you. It it makes you question. It makes you question. It makes you feel. And worst of all, it refuses to let you forget. It refuses to let you forget. Okay, I like it. So how do I want to do this? Okay, yeah. Let's wrap this up. The best horror love. Word. Why do you do these things, Word? Okay, let's conclude this. Um, as you walk away, it doesn't stay behind. It stays with you. The lore, unanswered questions. Today's Thursday, isn't it? Yes, it is. Unresolved, unresolved terror. It lives in your mind. Ah. The lore, the unanswered questions, the unresolved terror. It lives in your mind. It's not a good way to end it. Growing. Okay, in the dark spaces of your. Okay, that's better. Thoughts. There's a reason. There's a reason why best board games. Where am I going with this? Because I understand. Oh boy. Why did you disconnect? OBS, stay free. Okay. Essential. Um, it's about where? Um, it's about. It's about. Give me 1 second. Let me see why that closed. That's weird. Okay, whatever. Oh, can't escape. I got the perfect quote for this. What leaves you haunted? The world breaks everyone. The world breaks everyone. And afterward, and afterward, some are strong, fat, broken places. Gotta love Hemingway and his quotes. Ernest. Heming. I'm screwing up in my typing right now because that alcohol is really hitting me good right now. So I got to make sure I triple check all this later. This is not being released today. This is being released well into the afternoon. Yeah, this keeps on resetting for some weird reason. I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, OBS is being free right now. Don't know why. Yeah, it's actually being very free. Hmm. Well, either way, we're about to wrap it up. I just need to talk about this, and we should be good to go. Sorry about the random disconnections. I don't know why that's happening. It's been fine for the past couple of hours, but um, who knows? This story doesn't have to explain everything for it to matter. Yeah, again, I have no idea why it keeps on disconnecting. The broken Fragmented, another good word to use. Narrative, narratives, the cryptic messages, the unsettling imagery. If I can spell right now, oh God, imagery. They aren't weaknesses. They aren't weaknesses. They're the strength of war. They're Come on, let's finish this one off strong. Um, they force us. They force us to confront things we don't want to face. In that confrontation, and in that confrontation, we become something else. Something else. Hmm. The four waves are understanding, fear, and we carry it with us, often without realizing. Hmm. Excuse me. Once once it sinks in, once it sinks in, it becomes parts of who we are. It's just there to scare you. It's Oh, I like that. To, to make you think. Oh, to make you think. To make you think. To make you question. And that's so unforgettable. I'm reading this over again. I don't like ending this with unforgettable. Let's see, because sometimes, come on, come on, come on. Let's finish this off strong, OBS. Don't do this. Let's finish this off strong. I'm literally on the final sentence. Again, I apologize. I have no idea why this keeps on doing this. Because sometimes the scariest thing isn't the horror itself, it's the questions it leaves behind. What's if you'll never know the truth? Yeah. Okay. So I'm assuming going off of this, going off of what I've seen so far, I think this is good. It's just I don't trust myself right now because I'm kind of under the influence right now. It helps me. Don't drink, but I need to be laser focused for this. But I probably wrote some diabolical stuff that I really need to like go over. But I think for the most part we covered all the bases. Besides my connection to screwing up, we've talked about the psychology. We've talked about the techniques game used to deliver lore. We've gave examples from various games. Um, and why horror game lore stays with us. So I'm gonna go sober up and I'll start going over this rough draft and I'll make a little bit of minor adjustments like I normally do and we'll go from there. But as usual, if you have a request for anything lore related, like anything, just let me know. You will get top priority. Just like the Yumineko lore video the other day. Just let me know because I'm going off of my own personal list right now. My next video should be a Metroid video on the X Parasite, followed by a Tight Moon video and lore files. I'm trying to get this done all before I leave for a month. So again, you guys have a gigantic playlist worth of lore videos to go through while I'm gone for that 1 month. But as mentioned, if you do want a specific category or anything done with lore related, just let me know. All right. Other than that, we out. I gotta go sober up and review this later.